The time is now 7:30. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Village of Northfield regular council meeting of May 22nd, 2019. So I'll rise to the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Niehaus.
Here.
Mr. Magistrelli.
Here.
Mr. Scher.
Here.
Ms. Domzalski is absent. Mr. Hips.
Here.
Ms. Nowak.
Here.
Mr. Wojciech.
Here.
I am here. Mr. Wasowski is absent. Chief Zolgis.
Here.
And Captain Zemek.
Here.
And Mr. Walters is absent, and Ms. Ingrassi is absent, Mayor.
Can I get the approval of the minutes, please?
So moved.
Second. Second.
Motion for approval of the minutes of May 8th, 2019. Motion made by Ms. Nowak, seconded by, who is it, Mr. Magistrelli?
Yes.
Any questions, comments, or amendments? Hearing none, all in favor of approval?
Yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Minutes are approved.
Okay. Yes, we are having some difficulties with the sound system, so please bear with us. At this time, we're going to deviate a little bit, and we're going to go to the presentation of proclamations. We have our school resource officer here tonight, Mr. Brian Zombach. Not working.
Sorry, I got a big mouth. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would like to thank you, Mayor Niehaus and Council, for deviating from the normal meeting tonight. My name, for those of you who do not know me, is Officer Brian Zombach, and I am the School Resource Officer here at Leeton School here in Northfield. We are here tonight to recognize the following 4 students from Leeton School with these proclamations for their heroic actions on May 1st of this year. If we could please have the following 4 students, along with their parents, please come up and stand up front. Abby Polmeyer. And Natalie Barnes. Charlotte Namick. And last but not least, Kendall Haynes. We had excellent frames purchased for you ladies, but of course they didn't fit. So I'll be going to buy new ones tomorrow, and you'll get them from me Friday at school. Okay, is everybody ready? All right. On May 1st of this year, about 3 p.m., I received a call from dispatch to assist with a squad call for a male who was down on the ground, unconscious, on the playground at Leeton. Upon my arrival at Leeton, we found the victim, who was now conscious, being treated by Northfield Village Fire Department. The patient was then immediately transported to the hospital for further treatment. After investigating what had taken place, I had learned that these 4 students took it upon themselves to take action when the staff member collapsed. The students removed the staff member's key fob, went into the school, found help, bringing a teacher and staff member who then called 911. Prosecutor Bryan, if you would like to read the proclamation.
Thanks, Officer Zambach. This is a proclamation that each young lady will have their own individual proclamation in their name, but I will read it with everyone's name included. It is a proclamation issued by Mayor Jesse J. Niehaus and Council as a whole. A proclamation commending Leeton School students Natalie Barnes, Kendall Haynes, Charlotte Namick, and Abby Polmeyer for their quick thinking and expeditive action in responding to a health emergency of a school teacher. Whereas on May 1st, 2019, a Lee Eaton school teacher experienced a life-threatening health emergency, and whereas Natalie Barnes, Kendall Haynes, Charlotte Namick, and Abby Polmeyer noticed the condition of the teacher, quickly obtained help by removing the victim's key fob to gain entrance to the locked school, and sought assistance from a staff member to call for emergency medical assistance. And whereas the mayor, council, and residents of the village of Northfield want to recognize the life-saving actions of Natalie Barnes on the date in question. Now therefore be proclaimed by the Mayor and Council of the Village of Northfield, County of Summit, and State of Ohio, that the Village of Northfield hereby and herein appreciates the heroic actions of Natalie Barnes, Kendall Haynes, Charlotte Namick, Abby Polmeyer on May 1st, 2019 at Lee Eaton School.
Before everybody applauds, I have one thing I would like to say. Sorry. I believe that their actions on that afternoon saved the victim's life. As a school resource officer at Lee Eaton, I cannot express how proud I am of you four ladies for what you did in that emergency. Now, please stand and give these ladies.
All right. At this time, do you have anyone in the audience that would like to say anything to us tonight? Mr. Doherty.
Yeah, I bought 5 minutes. 15.
Oh, boy. Now we know where your daughter did.
That don't work.
It doesn't work.
Super simple. Joe, I think it was about 10 days ago, my wife had surgery. She was so out of it. She had foot surgery. So she actually thought she was in an airplane when I pulled in to drive. I get emotional. I didn't know how to get her out. Didn't know how to get her upstairs. I called the fire department. The guys were right there. Put her in the chair, took her upstairs, put her in bed. Thank God for you guys. I think we have one of the best fire departments in the area. No matter what, when I was sick and on death's door, they were there all the time. And something I didn't think they would want to bother with, they were right there within 2 minutes. And they got her, like I said, they got her upstairs, got her in bed, and she was gone. She don't even remember the guys coming and taking her out. But they were very professional, right on top of everything. Tell them thank you. That's all.
Okay, moving on to the reports of municipal officers. The mayor would like to report that I did meet with a developer for the Snell property. For some of you that don't know the Snell property, it's the old house on top of Kennedy. I cannot give the name of the business away, but it's by the Zambura Group that's presented the plans to me, and I would like to have a planning commission meeting set for next month in case they're ready with their plans by then.
June 19th at 7:30 will be that meeting.
If these plans do come to fruition, they will be the first ones using our overlay district. So it's kind of neat to see that that's being put into play. Okay, moving on. The finance director, Tricia Angracia, is not present. Does anyone from the finance department have anything tonight? I know you're sitting back in the back row. You should be up here with us. No, you're good? Okay. All right, we're going to move on to the engineer, Mr. Wasowski, who is not present. He'll be at our next regular scheduled council meeting. We're going to go on to the law director, Mr. Bryan.
I have no report this evening, Mayor.
Moving on to the department heads, Police Chief John Zolgis.
Thank you, Mayor. I did email my report out, although it did go out late this afternoon. I already advised you about Officer Gramlich and Sudo with the trophies that they won at the K9 Challenge. I will probably in the next, hopefully within 2 weeks, contact Ms. Nowak for a fire and safety meeting, and we'll discuss the cameras in the parks, and I'll have a lot more detail. And if anybody else is welcome, I guess they can attend that meeting too. And Mr. Wojtash asked if they could possibly do some type of demonstration. He probably would be able to pick up on his phone, or if he brings a laptop, exactly like what Lyndhurst Parks and Recs, their camera system, because he did theirs. So you might be able just to see the quality. He showed me, and it was amazing. So
So anybody can put an application on the phone?
only if I give you the IP address, which I probably will not do that. So it will only be for
The police?
police and probably the mayor. It's something we can discuss. I guess I'm not opposed to it, I should say that. I haven't thought that far ahead. So, but I'm not opposed to it if we discuss it, and if that's what you want to do, we can do it. That's all I have.
Moving on to the fire chief. Fire chief is not present. We have Captain Joe Zemek.
Thank you, Mayor. Just have one thing. Fire department is looking for approval to sell some old and used equipment. Talking with Chief Buss, I think he's looking to put all of it on Gov Deals. So I gave everybody a list. First thing is the 2007 Chevrolet ambulance. That's the one that the new van ambulance replaced. The old Chief's car, the 2008 Buick LaCrosse. An old Scott Rid Pack that was replaced a few years ago. A couple of confined space packs that are old. We have no use for them. We utilize the county teams for that. And the old desk from the chief's office.
Someone want to make a motion?
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
first? Joe, on the RIT packs and the confined spaces escape packs, what's the age on those? Do you know?
The Rid Packs are old Rid Pack that we had. The ones that were in the bags. I'm not sure how old they are. I'm sure they probably need to be hydro tested. The escape packs are probably a good 10, 15 years old at least. I don't know if we would be able to get any money for them. I know they need hydro tested and everything else.
Do we have any on the ambulances now,
The Rid Packs?
as far as
Yeah.
Scott packs or RIT packs, I guess?
Yeah, we have the two new Scott packs on both engines. The escape packs, we've never used them.
Do
They're
we
upstairs.
have Scott packs on the ambulances?
Air packs, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Voicer, seconded by Mr. Scherer. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor of the motion?
Yes.
All opposed? Okay, motion is approved.
And the only other thing is a reminder, June 8th is our touch truck event, 11 to 2. So we're working on putting a lot of exciting stuff together for that. I'm working with the police department, service department, so it should be a good event. That's all I have.
Could I add one more thing, Mayor?
Absolutely, Gary.
For all you that probably haven't seen it or may not have seen it, it's the Nordonia Hills News has it on the back page of their letter this time.
Does that complete your report, Joe?
That completes my report, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Service and Building Superintendent Jason Walters will be at our next regular scheduled council meeting. Reports of municipal boards and commissions. Mr. Hips, the Planning Commission.
As previously discussed, we'll have a planning commission meeting as a placeholder. We'll decide whether plans are submitted, but currently we'll schedule that for June 19th at 7:30. That concludes my report.
Recreation Board will meet June 5th, 6:30 here in council chambers. Reports of the standing committees. Mr. Magistralia, Finance.
Yes, today we had our regular scheduled finance meeting, and in the absence of Mrs. Ingracia, Mrs. Conway stepped in and helped us, our committee, and everything was prepared and in order, and I'm going to thank Mrs. Conway for helping us out, and my committee. Everything's in order, ladies and gentlemen, and we're still moving forward. Thank you. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Mrs. Domzalski is not here for Roads and Public Works. Does anyone on that committee have anything? Hearing none, moving on. Health and Welfare, Mr. Scher.
I have no report.
Mr. Voitush, Wages and Working Conditions.
No report, Mayor.
Ms. Nowak of Fire and Safety.
Just briefly, Chief Solgus and I have been discussing that we're going to start working on getting the block watch going again. And we're working on updating and the paperwork and everything. And we will reach out to the community to see who we would like to get involved when we get that completed. Thank you.
Mr. Hips of Buildings and Grounds.
Buildings and Grounds had a meeting this evening, kind of a brainstorming session and a plan for the step forward for the parks. I think we've got a stepping off point and a direction that we'd like to go, kind of 5-year plan and whatnot. But we'll see how we get that implemented in the contacting of some entities to see what help we can get in planning. That concludes my report.
I believe Mr. Bryant has something to add to.
Yes,
Buildings
and
Grounds?
just to let everyone know, we did receive 3 responses to our request for qualifications for the fire station improvement project. I know Chief Buss is requesting a meeting. Talking with Mr. Hips, I think we need to get a date or 2 dates to interview the 3 candidates and talk to them about their qualifications and ideas, and then rank them and see who we'd like to move forward with. So maybe if Mr. Hips, you can give us maybe 3 or 4 possible dates. It doesn't necessarily have to be tonight, and then I can try to coordinate with everyone else, and probably, right, and probably Ms. Nowak should be involved, being Chair of Fire and Safety also. So.
Yeah, I know that the chief was asking for Jen to be involved as well, and I had mentioned to the chief that I would like to be involved, so.
Okay.
I tried to send him an email, but it wouldn't go through. But I'd like to be involved also.
All right, well, we'll figure out, Mr. Hips is probably a little difficult to schedule with, and we'll get some dates and make sure everyone can make it. And we'll reach out to the contractors and see if their people are available. And again, we might not be able to do it all in one night. We might have to do 2 one night and 1 the other night, depending on their schedules. If we can make it all work in one night, great. If not, so we'll work on that. Thanks, Mayor.
You're welcome. Going on to legislation, Brad.
We have 2019-34, an emergency resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with West Roofing Systems to insulate, repair, and seal the 199 Ledge Road Service Department building roof on first reading this evening. And I know the Service Department is anxious to get this approved to move forward with that.
I'd like to make a motion to skip the 3 readings. Second.
Motion by Mr. Voitish to suspend the 3 reading rules, seconded by Mr. Magistrelli. All in favor of the motion?
Yes.
All opposed? Okay. Is there a motion to pass?
Motion for passage.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Voitish to pass, seconded by Mr. Magistrelli. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of passage?
Yes.
All opposed? Okay. The resolution is passed, and that's it for the legislation, Mayor.
At this time, is there any old business, new business, or announcements? Hearing none, is there adjournment?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion by Ms. Nowak to adjourn, seconded by Mr. Magistrelli. All in favor of the motion?
Yes.
Yes.
All opposed? We are adjourned at 7:51.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight.